Hey everyone, Dan here, and yeah, I just finished up the podcast, which was about 2.5 hours with Dan Taylor, Rosalinda Diaz, and Andrew Goggin, and you can see that on YouTube or Twitch. I've linked to it on Twitter and Facebook, so you can find it out there. We do an in-depth look at WandaVision Episode 5, as well as the Falcon and the Winter Soldier trailer that just dropped this evening. And while we did try to cover that a little bit, I thought I'd do a little more in-depth one in case you don't want to sit through the whole podcast, but like to know a little bit more about the trailer that just dropped or didn't get a chance to see it. So I'm going to go through this. Now, I would suggest watching it completely on the Marvel Entertainment YouTube channel or wherever you can find it out there. But I'm going to go through it a little slower and make some stops and kind of catch everybody up in it's things that I see. So we're going to do that right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can actually air it here. So we're going to share. All right, and let's not make it that big. Let's go that. Now, hopefully this will work and you guys will get to hear the sound. I'm assuming it'll work because I'll play the sound live. So let's see how this works. Let me know if you are watching and it doesn't work or what you think, and throw your comments in. If I can answer anything about this, I will. So here we go.
So, who would like to start? Mr. Barnes, why does Sam aggravate you?
15 seconds to drop. So what's our plan?
Great.
Okay, let's start right there. Falcon and Winter Soldier have both been best friends to Captain America for a while now. Bucky, of course, is his buddy from Kit. They grew up together. And they, where James Buchanan Barnes, or Bucky, got to join the service and go off to fight war, Steve Rogers couldn't until he got the Super Soldier Serum from Dr. Erskine. And of course, when he found out that Bucky had gone missing, Cap went AWOL to go find him, and that kind of started the whole thing. And he rescued Bucky, and then Bucky became one of his howling commandos, or however you want to, one of his squad that went after Hydra with a Red Skull. So Captain America First Avenger is pretty much all about Cap, but also Cap and Bucky, and you build that relationship where Bucky dies at the end. Falcon, on the other hand, gets introduced in the second movie, Captain America the Winter Soldier, where Bucky returns as the bad guy and Falcon becomes the new best friend. And then by the third movie, where Civil War that involves Bucky and his past and the Sokovia Accords and all that, they become sort of working friends. But that acidic relationship between the two of them is so much fun, and we get to see it a lot in the films, and it's great to see they're continuing here. We don't suddenly see them as buddies. Now, we're not sure when this is going to take place time-wise. I'm thinking it's going to be similar to WandaVision, that it's going to take place shortly after the events of Endgame. So Endgame ends with Cap returning as an old man and giving Falcon his shield with Bucky's approval, it looks like. So, he's passing the mantle of Captain America on, but we get the feeling that maybe the government isn't okay with that. So let's go a little further in.
Superheroes.
Okay, this is the City of Madrid, which is a huge importance if you're an X-Men fan, and this will be a little spoilers here, but I won't say specifically, but something happened in WandaVision this week that may be a signal that the X-Men are coming into the MCU. Madrid is a big thing in the mutant universe. It's a big city where there's a lot of mutants. It's big in the Wolverine's history. So them bringing Madrid in is a big sign that they're going to do more, or it's a possibility that they'll be doing more with mutants. But also, think of it this way. It's another thing like Sokovia or with DC, how they've got Gotham and Metropolis and Hub City and all these made up city names. They can do whatever they want to them and not, expect a big, oh, that's not how New York looks. Or, when you do a Marvel comic, you do it in New York. That's the big city. Well, then you have to film in New York and stuff like that. You do Madripoor, there is no Madripoor. You can do whatever you want, just like Sokovia. You can drop it out of the damn sky. No one's going to care. Okay, by the way, the voiceover here is Baron Zemo. Well, I don't know if he's referred to as Baron in the things. It's Helmut Zemo. They played by Daniel Bruhl in Civil War. He's the guy that kind of forced the sides to fight, and his whole purpose was to bring down the Avengers. It seems that he's continuing that with the idea that he wants to eliminate all superheroes.
I have no intention to leave my work unfinished.
That mask is from his actual comic in the comic costume.
The world's upside down right now. Where do we start?
Okay, March 19th is important because the way WandaVision's running right now, it's going to end 2 weeks, the 2 Fridays before that. So that'll end, I don't remember the date off the top of my head, March 19th, you go back March 12th and March 5th? Roughly March 5th. WandaVision will end on March 5th. Then March 12th will be an open date. Now, there's a good chance what they'll do is the same thing they did for WandaVision. They'll give us Marvel Legends, where we got the 2 episodes, the 7-8 minute episodes, giving us a recap of Vision and Scarlet Witch or Vision and Wanda. So there's a chance that we'll get recaps of Falcon and Winter Soldier. We'll get 2 episodes of Marvel Legends. And I hope they'll do that. I think those are very helpful for people who haven't been following along. One of the people on the podcast, Rosalinda, hasn't been watching all the Marvel universes, all the MCU movies. So she was able to watch those and get enough of a background to go into WandaVision with some knowledge without having to sit down and watch 23 hours of Marvel movies. Yes. So that's kind of nice. So I'm hoping we'll get Marvel Legends. Also, we saw the girl with the mask on with the red hand. I'm thinking that is, from what I understand, the Flag Smashers. Now, in the comics, Flag Smasher is a single person whose goal was to destroy countries, basically wanted to create anarchy so the people rise up and the countries fall. So here it looks like it's going to be a group of people instead of just a single person, and somehow they'll connect with Zemo, possibly. Also, the actress playing the head of Flag Smasher is, I want to get her name right, Erin Kellyman, who was in the Solo movie as Ephra Nest. I think that's her name. The rebel who was fighting against them for the score and also wanted the stuff at the end. So if you've seen Solo, you'll probably know who that is. So it's nice to see her back in a Disney movie. Okay, let's keep going.
I have a plan. Oh, yeah? What is it?
Here we go again, huh?
Okay, that is Sharon Carter. Now, she's played by Emily Van Camp, sorry. Emily Van Camp plays Sharon Carter. You'll remember her from Captain America Winter Soldier. She was the next door neighbor that he was flirting with. And then again in Civil War, she showed up, and it turns out she's Peggy Carter's niece. So it was a potential love interest for Steve Rogers, but ended up not happening. And there's kind of a creepy thing there, you know, the dating the woman you love's niece, but only time travel and freezing people and the Marvel Universe could get away with that. But then again, we have so many other weird things going on, like with WandaVision, that kissing somebody's niece is not that big a deal anymore. So, but here she's kicking some butt. And it looks like she's going to be a player. In the comics, she's known as Agent 13 of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I don't even know if there is a S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore at this point or what her connection would be. Hopefully she's still part of S.H.I.E.L.D., but she's definitely in this. Okay. The guy there in the costume that looks like Captain America costume is not Captain America. That is John Walker. He is played by Wyatt Russell, who I am told is actually Kurt Russell's kid. Don't know about that, but that's what I was mentioned earlier by Andrew. But he plays a character in the comics. John Walker starts off as a character named Super Patriot, kind of a super soldier version of Captain America if he was a killer. Think of Homelander, the Homelander version of Superman, or Homelander being the version of evil. Well, this is Super Patriot. Well, he then ends up becoming Captain America when Cap steps away and becomes Nomad for a while. And then when Cap returns, the government makes him a character named U.S. Agent, who he ends up becoming a hero and becoming part of the Avengers and different things like that, and getting his own variation of the costume. So whether he actually is playing Captain America here or goes by U.S. Agent, we'll have to wait and see. But he's an interesting character and should be a pretty interesting protagonist if the whole thing is trying to figure out if Falcon and or Winter Soldier are going to be Captain America. That should be interesting. I love the way they're using the wings in this now. More with the Flag Smashers.
Hello, girl, kick your ass.
This does not look like a TV show. This looks like a movie to me that they're just going to have in so many chapters. I don't know how many yet. I don't know if it's going to be 6, 8, 9. Don't know. I know WandaVision was originally set to be 8 and suddenly became 9. I think this will be either 6 or 8. Curious to see. If they're short things, then doesn't really matter if they're 30 minutes. So I'm hoping these may be a little longer. If they're big action pieces, you want a little more to them than just a quick 30 minutes in and out. So we'll see how that goes. Let's go ahead and finish up the trailer.
See? That wasn't so hard.
Are you ready? Oh, is you ready? Ready?
Okay.
You say you ready?
What are you doing?
Whole squad ready? Ready?
Are you having a staring contest?
Are you ready? Ready? Is you ready?
Just blink. Sweet Jesus. I mean, how old are you?
Okay, first you've got to love Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan there. The two of them just play off each other so well. And that is the number one reason I want to watch this series. It looks great to me. The other thing is just the whole the age thing. That she asks about their age, and that's pretty funny because Bucky's like 100 years old. You know, he was born a year before Steve Rogers, which would have been before World War II. I don't know, was he World War I or World War II? I should have done that research before this, but so, and then he was cryo sleep for a long time, pulled out, cryo sleep, pulled out, and then used for missions, and then eventually he gets free, and then he's in cryo sleep at the end of Winter Soldier, or Civil War, and then he comes out again, and then suddenly he's blipped, so he's gone for 5 years. So his birthday has got to be weird. He's got to like sit down with a pen and paper just to figure out how old he is. And of course, Sam Wilson lost 5 years as well, being blipped. So yeah, that's pretty weird. Poor Cap lost his two best friends. That's sad. No wonder he started a support group in the Endgame. Lose both your best friends. If I lost my best friend, I'd be heartbroken. Just absolutely heartbroken. So that's the Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer. Again, debuting on March 19th. We will be covering it in the podcast. If you guys have any questions, you can shoot them to me during the week or whatever, and I will tackle them. Other things that are supposed to come up in this episode, this series that have not been talked about, have been hinted at, is what's the actor's name? Trying to see if it's listed. They're supposed to bring two characters in. They're talking about Carl Lumley. And if you know Carl Lumley, he was on Supergirl as Martian Manhunter's father. He voiced Martian Manhunter for a lot of years on the JLA. He's this great actor. And they're talking about bringing him in as a character named Isaiah Bradley. And this will be above and beyond spoilers. So if you want to just stick with what was said in the trailer, you want to bail out now. Otherwise, I'll tell you what I've been hearing. So now you know. So they're talking about bringing in Isaiah Bradley. And in comics, Isaiah Bradley is basically a black U.S. soldier who gets the super soldier serum and basically becomes Captain America before Steve Rogers, because the U.S. government has a history of experimenting on African American soldiers before they did the rest. And that's horrible. And I think that is perfect, would be good to bring up and highlight that negative, that horrible part of our own history. But introducing Isaiah Bradley would be interesting from the point of the Falcon getting used to being Captain America. It could be like another mentor type person to get a better feel for being Captain America. The other thing is that Isaiah Bradley has a son. Let me see if I can find that name real quick. Again, I should have done this. But his son is Eli Bradley. And there's been talk about introducing Eli Bradley in this as well. And the reason they would do that is Eli turns out to be the hero Patriot, who is kind of a young Captain America. He has a shield. He has different things. Let's see if I can find a quick picture of Eli, of a Patriot. While I'm doing that. But so he is part of the Young Avengers. And they're building the Young Avengers here. So if you haven't noticed, they're definitely building the Young Avengers. And we've been getting bits and pieces of it all through Phase 4. The Young Avengers consist of Kate Bishop, who is going to be introduced in the Hawkeye series. Cassidy Lang, that's Patriot right there, Eli Bradley. But Cassie Lang, who plays Stature, who of course is Scott Lang's daughter. Wiccan and Speed are part of the Young Avengers, and those would be Billy and Tommy from WandaVision, Wanda's children. And there's also there's a couple other characters. There's Hulkling, which is a Skrull Kree kid. And then there's also Iron Lad. And there's talk about different people possibly playing that part. So they do seem to be building up the Young Avengers. And Eli Bradley would be part of that. And this would be the perfect episode. If they're going to bring in Isaiah Bradley with Carl Lumley, this would also be a good time to cast Eli Bradley so that he could be part of the Young Avengers, which they definitely seem to be building. So don't be surprised if that pops up. Okay, that's pretty much what I know about the series so far. I know Zemo, Daniel Bruhl's character, is supposed to be the big bet, but you never know. They are pretty good at swapping things out. But I am going to wrap it up there. So that is the Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer. And I look forward to watching that. That should be really good starting March 19th. I'm going to continue watching the WandaVision stuff and sharing that. And please hit the like and subscribe buttons. If you're following on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're following on Twitch, please subscribe. And then you'll see when I do more videos. If you're following on Facebook, same thing. I will post these to Twitter. So if you want to do that. But for now, that's the main things are going to be Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So please like and subscribe. I'm trying to build this channel up. Would love to get some new viewers, some new things, and get your feedback. Please let me know. You can always jump in while I'm doing these with comments. I keep an eye on the comments, and I will respond or add your comments. Even if you just want to make a smart-ass comment, there's a good chance I'm going to add that to the post. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the coverage, and have a good evening. We'll talk soon.